JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 10th of August 2022. So you're welcome everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFDbrokers.com website, which I believe you can find it useful, so check us out there on JFDbrokers.com. Now then, jumping into the charts, guys, not this one, this is my not favorite one. Okay, so Nikkei 225, and basically we saw a nice hold up here near this upper side of the range, so in a way everything's working out nicely here, and we drifted to the downside. What I said to you previously, that I'm going to aim for that, if we're going to drop back below this 28,000 territory, I'm going to aim for that 21-day EMA, and so far we're on the right track. I'm still, like I said, I'm still targeting that area around that 21-day EMA. Currently it's somewhere around that 27,600 territory, but I mean, of course, all eyes are on this 27,524 territory right here, which acted recently as a good area of support. So if we clear that one, then yes, I'll start considering a larger correction here to the downside, because don't forget that at the moment, although we are within the range, but we're still above this short-term tentative upside support line taken from the low of the 20th of June. Oh, I can see in the chat room there, Uwe, good morning to you too. Good morning to everybody else, of course, who's joining in. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful start of Wednesday. And today should be quite an interesting one. Let's, of course, I'll get to that in a bit. But Shanghai Composite. So we got the inflation numbers from China. Came out lower than expected. Came out at around 2.7, something like that. Yeah. So 2.7, the year-on-year headline CPI number, and the expectation was for 2.9. Although that is still greater than the previous one. The previous one was at 2.5. So yeah, the current one is 2.7. So it's still worse, let's say, than the previous number. However, lower than expected. So I'm assuming the market is expecting maybe a bit of a slowdown in demand. I think that might be the case as well with the U.S. numbers today as well. So, but again, let's see how that's going to play out today. The U.S. number is expected to come out lower, so from 9.1 to 8.7. However, judging from like what's happening right now in general, let's see if it's not going to end up being even lower than the forecast. So again, I don't want to speculate too much on this one, but it would be quite interesting to see if actually the actual number comes out much, well, no, sorry, not much, but just a little bit lower than the previous figure or even the forecast. Now jumping into Shanghai Composite. Sorry, very quickly on that one. So we got a hold up here near this downside line. However, the 3,228 territory is doing its job and providing good support. So What I said to you previously, that look, this is one of those levels. If you want, you can keep an eye on it. I mean, for the downside, but I mean, it might, let's say, if it drifts below this, yes, we could go lower. We could go somewhere here, but maybe it will find support. Let's say somewhere, near the this inside swing high of the 4th of August, for example, near the 3,191 territory, and then maybe reverse back to the upside or something like that. So that's why I don't like these areas to trade here whenever we are within the, like I said, maybe a descending triangle or stuck in between this certain key important lines. So that's why, yeah, just leave it for now. I mean, personally, okay, if you want to take advantage of this, you can, but again, I cannot stress this enough, how stop loss is very, very important. Now, in case, let's say, this starts popping higher and moves above the 21-day EMA, because as you can see, it provided good strong resistance. So if we pop above that 21-day EMA, yes, I'll go higher. I'll go towards this area near the 3,305 zone right there. Let me just mark this on the chart, probably it'll be easier. So that's the current high of this week. So if we, near the 3,253 territory, if we push through it, then yeah, I will go to the upside here, and I'll aim for, slightly higher levels here. With the downside, of course, my comfortable level here is the drop below this 3,160 territory right there. Now, ASX 200, just a quick update. So yeah, failed to move towards that 200-day EMA. I kept on saying that, look, this is what's going to be my target. Yep, yesterday the U.S. markets didn't perform very well. The European markets as well, similar story. So maybe that had that little negative effect on the ASX 200. So yeah, for now, I would say I'm not abandoning the idea of aiming for that 200-day EMA yet, because we are still above the 100-day EMA, and we're kind of balancing around here. Oh, by the way, this level has to go, no longer needed. I'd rather mark this barrier. So yeah, at the moment, I would say if it somehow continues to trade above that 100-day EMA or that 6,920 territory, then yeah, we'll consider still a possible move towards that 200-day EMA. If this area breaks this 6,920, then I will aim for that 21-day EMA, but preferably, I would like to see it drop below that 21-day EMA in order to go a little bit lower here. German index, DAX. Beautiful decline yesterday. Look at this. I talked about this barrier yesterday. I said that, look, if you want to go higher, wait for a strong push above it. So the 13,750, which we got another test off, and then we reversed sharply to the downside, breaking this upside line taken from the low of the 19th of July. So if you're looking for some lower levels, now of course this is potentially opening the door towards a move further south. The cash index, yes, it is drifting lower, but in a way everything's kind of working out nicely, because what I was talking about recently, I said that, look, I mean, this move here, I mean, if we break this upside line and fall below that 13,570 territory, this is what I was talking about yesterday. I said that, yeah, I'll aim a little bit lower, and so far it's working out nicely. My next target right now is this 13,400 zone. I want to see what's going to happen here. Slightly below that, we do have the 21-day EMA, which also could play out nicely. So keep that in mind. I mean, maybe although my arrow is drawn all the way here, I would actually prefer to watch this area first. So let me just kind of put this one here. So I would prefer to watch this area first to see what's going to happen here, and then if we get a hold up somewhere around here, maybe a little rebound could be possible, and then we would take it from there. But yeah, first like I said, I'm leaning towards the downside. So let's see how all this is going to play out. Nasdaq 100. So yeah, drifted lower, and look at this. Just fell shy by a few points of reaching. Oh, actually, no, sorry, the arrow was in the way. We did reach the 200-day EMA. So mission accomplished on this one. There we go. Everything worked out perfectly. After what I said before, that if we clear this area, if we jump back above it, then my next target is the 200-day EMA, which we managed to reach perfectly. Okay, great. Now we're seeing a decline. What's next? In terms of the downside, if you're looking for some lower levels, then wait for a drop below that 12,900 territory, somewhere around here, and also below that 100-day EMA, which you probably cannot see here, but it's here. This one right here, roughly around that 12,845 level right now. So on my chart. If we clear somehow this area and stay below it, then yeah, I'll go further south and I'll aim for this 21-day EMA initially, and then maybe this upside line taken from the low, the 16th of June. Now, in terms of the upside, now all this area here in between the 100-day and the 200-day EMAs will be something of a, I would say, just an area where I'm going to remain neutral. I'm going to just continue observing the price action, but if we do pop above this 13,395 territory and this 200-day EMA, now that's where it could become very interesting, very attractive, and potentially more buyers could join in, and then we could start aiming towards this 14,277 territory, marked by the high of the 21st of April of 2022. So, long story short, these are the levels, guys. That's what I'm watching. So again, let's see how this is going to play out. But yeah, it's quite an interesting moment right now in the market, in the stock market. So, and of course, keep your eyes on today's CPI numbers. DXY, dollar index. So again, also just not doing anything. And to be honest, this is what I was talking about on Monday. I said that, look, don't be surprised if these days, these running days into the correct sentence probably would be these days running into the CPI, US CPI numbers. There we go, grammatically correct sentences. Yeah, that's always something in my head. Basically, yeah, like I said, we had a bit of a flat trading session, but hopefully something can happen today. I really don't care to the upside or to the downside. For me, the main important thing are the levels that I'm watching here. Now, a few adjustments have to be made on my side here with the levels, because I think that it's a little bit of a mess here. Now, what you can do here is, for example, keep your eyes on yesterday's low, or even better, I think it's this one. Yep, that's the low of the 5th of August. If we clear this one, if we break the, because look, last time I told you that, look, maybe I'm watching this as a potential rising wedge pattern, and to be honest, the moment we're resting near this, near the lower side of this pattern, but maybe it's not going to work out just because it might be seen here as something else. Like, for example, if we evaluate just this, maybe this could be seen as a bullish flag and we could see a nice pop higher. So, you know, there's a lot of things to consider. And in that scenario, now previously I talked about this 107.48 level, but given the interesting day which is being today, so I would actually also keep my eyes on this 106.93 territory. So, because if it does prove itself as a, you know, if we do pop higher, then yes, maybe this could have been seen as a nice bullish flag. So, and then if we clear this barrier, then yeah, we'll go higher. But as you can see, by the amount of obstacles here on the way higher, I will be very careful. So, yes, on one hand, great, we could see, you know, a move higher, but on the other hand, it's like I said, I still prefer for the upside, I still prefer this barrier, the 107.48 zone, and then we will just kind of take it from there. Now, gold. Jumping into gold, this 1795 level. I mean, look at this. it played out nicely yesterday, so it provided good resistance. I talked about this level, and we did pop initially above it, but we failed to stay above it, and that's what we are getting right now. We're getting a decline. I can try to draw something like this here. Just bear with me one moment. Something like this. Yes, we can keep that in mind. Beautiful upside line. We're currently resting on this upside line. Will it hold? That's a good question. Of course, still probably gold will also wait for the CPI numbers as everything else, and then maybe it'll do the move, depending, of course, on how the dollar will move. So, if you're looking for some upside, then yes, I'll keep an eye on that 1795 territory again, and then I'll aim for these levels, the 1807, or maybe the 108 EMA, or maybe even the 208 EMA. Who knows? Let's see how this is going to play out. But at the moment, yep, it is still above this upside line, cautiously bullish. I am right now, but at the same time, I'm not excluding a possibility of seeing a break here. And also, don't forget that something that, that happens very, very often are the false breakouts. So, for example, we could see a break below this upside line, but then by the end of the trading session, it still reverses back to the upside and stays above this upside line. Now, that's where, a lot of traders, a lot of sellers could get caught out. That's why I would prefer to, for the downside, I would prefer to wait for a drop below the 1773 territory, somewhere around here. I talked about this level previously. It acted as a good area of resistance once, then twice as a support. So now I would like to see, as if it's gonna, surrender this time. So again, let's not rush into anything. Let's just observe this one. Try not to kind of, trade this before the news, unless you have a very, very big account, and you really don't mind blowing up some money or something like that. Or if you're feeling very, very lucky as well, you can, but I really don't recommend doing anything like that, and just always have your stop loss in place, guys, and just try to approach it, the market carefully. WTI oil. So this one drifting nicely to the downside, so we got that reversal I talked about, and we're drifting now lower again. So now then, let me reuse this highlighted territory right here and mark this key area of support. Now, as you can see here, we are. I'm still watching this 87.90 territory. I want to see what's going to happen after that. If we do clear it, if we do clear it, then yes, I'm going to get very, or at least more bearish than bullish, for obvious reasons. And then we could, we could then aim for that 81.94 level or even below that. But let's get to this point first. I need that confirmation break here and below this 87.90 level. Can we get that? Let's wait and see. But with the upside, it's let's say we have this downside line, and basically any move up until here could be classed as a temporary correction still. So all this is not really perfect. And another thing, I think I need to tidy up my chart here a little bit, because it's getting a little bit in the way here, and I think that so there we go. I think this will look a little bit better and more reasonable, because let's say for the upside, if we do break this downside line and we pop above the 96.55 territory, now that's where potentially more buyers could join in, and we could see a nice good push to the upside here. With the downside, as I said, this 87.90 level, that's what I'm keeping in a close eye on. BTC USD. So yesterday, of course, the crypto drifted lower, and this is what I talked about in the beginning of this week. I said that, look, yes, we got that nice push to the upside on Monday. We were moving nicely to the higher, and I said that, look, the bulls should not get their hopes up yet, because we had a good run, but is it, are we over with the downside now? That's a good question, but I still needed to see a break through this barrier, this 24,300 area. As you can see, we did not really get that, and instead we're now seeing a decline. However, something to, you know, please the bulls is that we're still trading above this upside line, but we're very close to it, and we're getting a third touch here. So let's see if we're not going to end up breaking it, because at the moment I think that the 21-day EMA is getting violated. So yep, let's be on the careful side. I still need to see a push through this 24,300 area in order to go higher. AUD USD, jumping into a few pairs very quickly, guys. So this one, I talked about this and I said that, look, if we stay above the 0.6977 territory, I'm going to aim higher. Well, we did fractionally stay above it, but and now we're drifting back down. So also something that everybody's waiting for. I mean, first the CPI numbers to come out, US ones, and then, you know, this pair might do a bigger move or something like that. At the moment, I would say maybe, just maybe, this could be forming something of a possible bullish flag. However, it's not really picture perfect. I would say it might drift lower here, still might test this 21-day EMA, and then maybe you could rebound and push higher. Still, either way, I'm looking for that 0.6977 violation. Again, if we do clear that level, then I'll go a little bit more to the upside. With the downside, still the same. Actually, this time I think that the more we're moving to the right, the more I think later on I will have to adjust my levels here, but or even this downside line. But at the moment, I'm gonna get more comfortable with the downside if we drop below this downside line and this 0.6854 territory. USD JPY. So okay. Looking at this, I would say USD JPY is also waiting. We are oscillating around that 21-day EMA, so I cannot really say anything much here. I mean, apart from we've broken this downside line, a tentative downside resistance line, but still, you know, it could be seen as a positive. However, given that we've broken it, I would say, yeah, let's remove it. And instead we can draw something like this. So as you can see, we are resting now on this nice upside support line taken from the low the 2nd of August. Now if we do rebound from it, then well, up and away. So, you know, we could go higher here towards that highest point of July near the 139.39 level. With the downside now, with the problem here with the downside, I think that I need to redraw this a little bit and make my ambitions a little, or lower down my ambitions. That's probably the better way to say it, because I think that if we do break the upside line, I'm going to keep an eye on this little territory right there, this 134.55. A nice good drop below it may lead to a test of this 131.50 zone, and then we'll go from there. USD TRY, I talked about this yesterday, just a quick update, not going to spend too much time on it. I'm not saying that this might, you know, do a big move or something, but it could be interesting. It could be interesting because we look how squeezed we are, and yeah, I mean, we hadn't had a last time we had this like a big drop, like a big spike or something like that, like back in well, in the beginning of July. Then there was a bigger one in the end of June. So yeah, let's see how this is gonna play out. The technical picture here, if you wanna try to find something where maybe it's not, but you know, still maybe we can put this on the chart here. This upside support line taken from below the 5th of May. That's a tentative, very tentative line. That's why I would say you can keep that just in case, but still it's going to be quite interesting to see what's going to happen further here. And basically, let me reuse this line. In terms of the downside, guys, I would like to see a drop somewhere below this area, below this what's this, 1776 territory, and as you drop below it, may open the door also to some lower levels towards maybe this upside line, because at the same time we would drop below the 21-day EMA. But with the upside here, of course, Let me just reuse one of these lines as well, just in case. And for the upside, pretty straightforward. Push above the current highest point of August near the 18.08 level, and as you clear the move above it could lead to the current all-time high near the 18.36, approximately around there. All the levels are approximately here. GBP Aussie, guys, GBP Aussie, looking at this, yeah, range, we're stuck in a range still. Look at this level here, this 1.7286 zone. It's providing good support. That's not the lower side of the range, it's kind of, I would say, that's the pre-lower side of the range, yeah. I would say, yeah, I mean, there is still potential for this one to move lower. However, if let's say I'll go very careful in this one, because yeah, we could go lower. We could see, you know, if we do drop below this 1.7286, then yeah, my next target is the 1.7175 zone right there. With the upside, because we're within the range still, so the upside within the range, that's probably the better explanation of all this formulation of the words here. But within the upside, within the range, the upside here could come on a break of this downside line taken from the high of the 1st of July, and then yeah, we could go maybe a little bit to the upside. So something like this could be possible. Overall, in the bigger picture, I'm bearish because look, we had the prevailing trend before entering this range was to the downside. So we went lower significantly. We started consolidating here. I mean, we started ranging. And now, I mean, according to all the TA rules, this tends to break to the downside, but we do have exceptions, and that's why I'm going to be very careful here for now. GBP NZD also leaning a little bit more towards the downside. So yeah, previously I talked about this one, and I would say it didn't really work out as I wanted it to work out. But hey, that's the market for us, you know, like that's what it does. Now, in terms of the downside, guys, here, I mean, also we're stuck in this little range, something like that. Not a picture perfect range, of course, but nevertheless. So if you're looking for some lower levels, a drop below the 1.9144 territory would be needed. Then yes, it could open the door towards, you know, these hurdles here, like the lowest point of July. There we go. Then the lowest point of May here. There we go. So yeah, these are going to be my first targets if we do drop below the lower side of this range. EURUSD, very quickly, also something that I'm keeping an eye on, but not for the US CPIs, but mostly for the crude oil inventories which are coming out today as well. So that's going to be quite interesting to see how this is going to play out, because again, if oil you know shows lower supplies, then we could see you know maybe a slight jump in the price. However, although maybe it depends which one's going to outweigh which, because currently demand is dropping for oil due to the higher inflation, of course. Consumer spending has dropped a little bit, so that's why I would say, you know, be very careful. Let's say if oil starts you know dropping heavily, or let's say not heavily, but at least significantly, then we could see EURUSD popping higher here a little bit and moving nicely to the upside. If we do see oil strengthening, well, I mean, we could see maybe this pair moving towards this key support zone near the 1.3024 zone. EURUSD, this one's something. This is also something that I'm keeping a close eye on, watching for these two levels. I want to see what's going to happen here. Are we either we're going to get a clear break below this 0.96, or should I say 0.97 territory, or we're going to push through the 0.98 level. Pretty straightforward. Then yeah, and then basically it could open the door to the next short-term directional move. And finally, EURUSD, something that of course everybody's going to be watching today, and yeah, let's see how this is going to react. But in general, for now, let's say at this point in time, I'm keeping a close eye on I'm keeping a close eye on this arrow from where it's drawn here from on this level, the 1.0122. If we drop below it, then yeah, we'll go towards the lowest point of July. For the upside, I'm taking an approach here. I'm waiting for a push above the 1.0340, and then I will go to the upside, because at the same time we'll break the downside line, and potentially more buyers could join in. This area right in between the current rate and this downside line, it's something that I don't want to touch. I mean, this is just an area for maneuverability. In general, this whole area above this 1.01 and 22 and this downside line, all this is just an area for maneuverability for me. So yeah, I'm just going to be observing it. So guys, that's it for this session. Just again, a quick reminder that there won't be any Traders Espresso on Friday. Tomorrow is going to be the last one. And because then, yeah, I'll resume on the 23rd of August. But either way, guys, I hope you found this session useful. Thank you very much for joining in and watching till the end. I really appreciate your time, your views, your likes, your comments, everything. So I hope you'll have a fantastic trading day. Again, stay safe here. Don't overtrade. If it's not going if it's not going well, just leave it for next day. Don't worry, there will be always an opportunity, because that's the market we're talking about. Anyway, guys, have a wonderful trading session today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.